thanks to the Almighty God, and we also give to come together so that we will form a formidable team to win the 2024 election against the NDC.
What do you think worked the magic for your candidate?
Oh, it's about humility. Humility counts, and also the campaign message went well. The campaign message buy to her message.
All right. Okay, so going forward, do you think you can win the seat for them?
In fact, Dokwa is the surest bet. She's the surest bet. And as I said, unity first. Unity first. So my little advice to the candidate of Dokwa is for her to be able to put all their assemblies together so that they can fight one common enemy, which is the NDC candidates.
All right. There was a nearly fight broke up here. How you want to?
Oh, my brother, you don't call this as a fight. You don't call. You know, in an election, by all means, one will win, one will make the winner, one will also lose. It's not something new, but they are doing it out of anger, and I think when the tension comes down, we all come together as a party. We've done it, and we've done it for several times, and we can do it.
All right, thank you very much. So there's a massive jubilation here. You see a lot of chanting jubilation for Nanama Dokuya, who has emerged as victorious here at Orphan Constituency. You are jubilating.
Yes, I'm very excited. I'm very happy because of Mrs. Dokwa. Hi, he has won.
And you think he can win? She can win the next election?
Sure. She's going to win. She is going to win. You mark it on the wall.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hello, sir. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us on Metro TV.
Good afternoon.
Nana Dokuya has won, and you are jubilating. What do you think worked the magic for her?
In fact, Nana Dokuya is very humble, experienced, and very respectful, and very committed to service. I think that is the reason why she won massively.
I have one woman here, Mommy.
Sister Yenya Japan. In fact, Dokwa Wabwe Juma Wanda the Yabad. Shower the walk and wait quiet. What family Lady P. The message Dokwa Wabwe Juma. And my delegate to show ya.
So jubilation upon jubilation. I have some people here who would like to talk to them more. Good afternoon, sir, and thanks for joining us on Metro TV. You are jubilating. Are you a fan of Nana Madoba?
Yes.
And what do you think worked the magic for you people?
Oh, it was the hard work that we did, and then we know this time to take back our lost seat for us. That is why we use our strength, our soul, our spirit, everything that we have to. The victory belongs to her. And yes, God has made it for us that we have won the victory. Thank you.
So we still have the fun and people of Nanama Dokuya. We would like to talk to them more and have some good afternoon, and thanks for joining us on Metro TV.
Thank you very much.
Please, what are you supporting? Here.
I'm supporting Amadokuya.
And she has won. What do you think worked the magic for her?
Hard work and dedication, that's all.
Do you think going forward in 2020?
Somebody who has been a parliamentarian in the Kwapim North for 8 years with 32 electoral areas against 6 electoral areas. It's easy job for us.
People are saying that Nana Madokuya is not from the constituency. Even she does not vote here.
handkerchiefs. So if somebody claims he's not from the constituency, I'm surprised. If you're not from the constituency,
so we will talk to a lot of more people here. There are a lot of jubilation here. Supporters of Nana Madokuya. Inside and talk to more of them and see how the excitement it is around how they are feeling here. The woman is here. The street is very tight here, so let's see if we can talk to her here and let's yes. All right. So EC is about to officially declare her as the winner of this election. The jubilation is ongoing here. And Amadokuya is in your shot. EC is announcing. So we are waiting to have some few words from Nana Madokuya after the declaration. Has been officially declared. Nana Madokuya has been officially declared the winner of the elections here at Okankwe North constituency. She has been officially declared the winner from the Okankwe. The jubilation is massive here. Nana Madokuya has been officially declared the winner of the Npp parliamentary primaries here at Okankwe North constituency. She pulled 341 votes. From her, she pulled 341 votes. Such a massive one. Honorable, you are live on Metro TV. Please, a few words. Please, a few words. How do you feel? Please, how do you feel? How do you feel? Please, how do you feel? It's the victory. Everything. Please, how do you feel? She doesn't want to speak. We are still trying to see if we can.
Well, I'm not waiting. There are two possible results. Either you win or you do not win. And I had psyched myself that Ki Sarah Sarah. I have been able to speak to every delegate here in this constituency. I have sold them my message. Those who are not aggrieved, it's all part of the process. We'll have to give them time for them to be able to come out of the situation and then work towards reconciling the rank and file to ensure that we think the leadership should be the kind that will be more of people-centered, the kind that will be more of ensuring that the party is a lot more formidable than it was when I picked it up.
How different is this going to be from
here in Ekapim North? I had a good chunk of the constituents being farmers, and here I have a good in a program that will embrace them all and their needs. Thank you.
Okay. Uncle.
Election Central.
All right, we're still live on the coverage of the Npp Orphan Constituency parliamentary primaries. There's been information coming in where Nana Amadokwa has won her seat in the Okankwe North. I'm here with Ali Ampofo for continues from Moro Audi.
Well, it's not her seat.
Okay, at least I take it over.
She's a newcomer. Yeah, I mean, she's a newcomer from where she came from, Ekapim North.
Okay.
To that constituency. So
that's a bold step
yes.
to have gotten
yes.
The support from the grassroots in a place where she's starting from.
Well, we're picking information that she's gotten support. So let's just hope that it's that support that did the trick, because grassroots sometimes can be very loyal.
Yes.
You know, grassroots can be very loyal. But if you have the support from elsewhere, which of course I cannot mention, then that can also do a bit of some manipulation and tricks for you. And it's actually a surprise.
But when the grassroots...
Because it's not that easy to move from one constituency to another and just win. No. Especially when you have persons who have been there, who have been fighting for the party, who have been nurturing the, have gone before. We had Issa, who's gone before as MP and lost, and still stayed and nurtured and continued. You understand? So I think that it's really one of the shockers for me.
Some way also say that probably we need a new face to represent the constituency. That may be another strategy from their angle in order to capitalize upon the face that had stood in another constituency. Bringing a new dynamic in the outlook of that constituency may help at least give some push during the election.
Well, I don't know. The dynamics differ from constituency to constituency, in my opinion. If you watch, for example, Odododio constituency, for example, that constituency sometimes plays very funny, especially in the MPP. It's like when you come, win one touch, if you don't, they take you off, and then they bring another person. So it's not about either being there for long or maybe they want a new phase. It really, those factors differ from constituency to constituency. Because that particular constituency, what I know is that they are very particular with their names. When your name is mentioned, they now trace
where you
the
come
clan,
from, the
you
house,
come from, the
come
home,
from.
the house
Exactly,
you come from, and all that. So a lot of factors play regarding the particular constituency that we're talking about. So I think I am not so sure of the dynamics in Okankwe North, but what I rely on heavily is the support she had moving from, Ekrapim North to Okankwe
the support, someone can support you, but asking how consistent support may be in the major game is what we are looking for too. So let's hope when the time is due, she should be up to the task.
Yes, it's definitely not a point to jubilate, it's a step further. I watched her earlier, and she made a comment. They asked if she was going to win, and she said, "Ki sera sera." And I'm like, okay. So let's see what will be, and what will be has been. So congratulations to her. The bigger fight is ahead in 2024.
I see your encyclopedia of information. So
it's not. Why are you like that?
Serious encyclopedia. There's some facts and figures all set out for you.
Facts and figures.
Indeed, we are here with Martin Ray, who is also with us at Ignite Media, Original TV. He's in Parliament and knows almost all of them on that angle. So he, I'm sure, has a lot of information in regards to what is going on today. There are still reports coming through, especially on how the election is going in some constituency. We have Elvis Botta, who is also the former national deputy organizer with the MPP, is here with us in studio to give us, he said his prediction has come to light. But as to the other constituencies where the election is still ongoing, we're hoping to see whether, based on his analysis, he can, probably his prophecy may come through. Annie?
Yeah. So we should engage Elvis. I think we have to engage you now. Well, you can tell us, coming from MPP, maybe you can tell us more. Okankwe.
Elvis, kindly turn on your microphone.
What is happening now? And my argument is that fundamentally, it is important for us to appreciate that for us in the NPP, this primaries is a different ball game altogether from previous primaries. And this is hinged on the basis of the kind of parliament we have now, given that we won presidential elections in 2020 and almost actually lost parliamentary majority, and we've seen what that means for executive decisions and business of the House in favor of the ruling government. It's been practically a tough one. So for us, the next election should be one that must be based on a lot of strategic dimensions, and that even makes it.
Elvis, not cutting you, but we just got information coming through that Dr. Kingsley Kudugu has won the Zebela constituency primaries. That is information coming through. Dr. Kingsley Kudugu has won the Zebela constituency primaries. So there's serious jubilation ongoing in that constituency. Voting is currently underway in the Adenta constituency. We'll bring you the breaking stories in the course of the conversation here. So, Elvis.
Yes, so for us, as I was making my argument, I'm advancing that this particular primaries is one with a lot more strategy, a lot more tact, and a lot of operational dynamics that goes into it. Of course, we are giving democracy its biggest chance, but also as a political organization, we are minded to be extremely strategic in terms of what operationalization we effect in arriving at the kind of candidates that are not just going to end as candidates, but must be credible enough to, at the end of the day, not only win, but grant us a great deal of parliamentary majority after the 2024 elections. And so you will realize that in some of the instances, people seem not to understand why it should be. We are seeing the controversies in respect of Okaikwe North with Nanama Dokuya and her stepping in there. We are hearing noise. She doesn't have a vote in the constituency. She's not from the constituency. But hey, there are certain...
How do you as a party solve such problems? Because I think it's one too many with the accusations and allegations of she votes not in this constituency, she has no vote here. We faced that problem in Asing North.
We did,
and I think there was another recent election, I'll recall later, which made me make reference to Asing North. And then we're now facing it now.
I don't see why you said she's an encyclopedia.
You get a fact.
She's trying to get all the. It's particularly why I'm not actually supporting.
Oh no!
You are good.
I feel ambushed.
Annie, you are good. Annie, you are good. So well, it's not going to be a difficulty. Like I said, this is within our ambit as a party to handle. We have a constitution that regulates our conduct as a political organization, just like any other political organization. If you look at the factors being enumerated, i.e., she doesn't have a vote there, she's not from the constituency, they may not particularly hold, because at least those are things the National Council of our party have, power and constitutional mandate to grant waivers. They will not come to play in the general election, given that by the time we are making new registers for the 2024 elections, she should be able to have a vote in that constituency to meet the constitutional requirement of the 1992 Constitution. So clearly, the legal components of the matter are obviously not those in breach of any particular superior law of the land. And at the party level, like I said, the National Council have powers under the NPP's constitution to be the final say in situations like this. Now, I made mention that we are quite tactical and strategic. Yes, you cannot do away with certain outliers in terms of dissatisfaction of people in issues regarding electioneering, but in some of these instances, the party have done due diligence, the party have engaged broadly, and we are sure that we have solved significant problems or have what it takes to accommodate the excesses that may outflow as a result of these kind of engagements. And so clearly, you also realize that in the case of Osu, where Ninoy have come in. But just even before I go there, so you realize that the position, whatever position the party took to allow for Nana Dokuya to contest in Okaikwe North, have actually been affirmed by the delegates of that particular
let me ask you a question.
Now,
during these moments, especially election, during your meetings, during your assessment of the candidate, do you sometimes question about the ability to execute project development in the area, and also how they are able to lobby?
I mean, it's extremely central to the gymnastics in winning parliamentary seats. You are not only looking at, just a likable person, you're also looking at the ability of the person to marshal political organization in terms of resources for development outside of even the party, okay? And you are also looking at the ability of the person to appeal to floating voters beyond the base votes of the party.
Yeah.
You are looking at a personality that has the competency to also deliver at the committee, subcommittee, and on the floor of the House, should that person eventually win. We look at your advocacy, competencies, and all of this. So like I said, a multiplicity of factors feeds into that.
Right,
and the NPP is not oblivious of this.
Interesting one. We have information that Ninote has won in the Okankwe constituency. So we are going...
Osu, you mean?
Kole Klote constituency. So we are going there now. He is about to address the press, where my colleague Elvis Ando is currently reporting from.
Absolutely. Ensure that it becomes that of
Yes.
So how are you able to get them along really in your...
Yes, I was just going to make an analysis.
I think first off, we heard from my brothers who contested the elections. I don't think this is just for saying sake. This is something we all as contenders decided on, that whoever wins, the main target is getting the seat back to the MPP. So they've spoken to their supporters, but it's not going to just be there. What's going to happen is we are also going to approach their supporters. We are going to have a meeting with them. We are calling all our supporters to calm down in their celebration. They should be very careful with the kind of things they say. We're going to bring everybody on board. We've already started a lot of work on the grounds. Whatever we started together before the contest. So we are going to continue whatever we started and what we know how to do best on the grounds to make sure that 2024 we go as a united front and then victory becomes that of the MPP.
Does the NATO intimidate you?
Not at all, not at all.
So the battle line has been drawn now. Why should the constituents of Koleklote vote for Nino Norte?
The constituents would vote for Nino Norte because first off, Nino Norte understands the issues facing these constituencies. So he will be the best person to advocate for these issues on their behalf. Number two, we say MPs are not in charge of developments. Yes, we know, but in your own little way, you can do something to assist. You can go around the whole constituency in terms of health, in terms of education, in terms of human empowerment, in terms of skill development and trading, entrepreneurship, startups and all that. We have touched base with every single problem in the constituency. What we are going to do is we are going to expand it so that it covers most people in the constituency. We won't be able to do all, but we hope to do the most out of it.
Okay, so your campaign as a candidate for the MPP cannot be inseparable of how your government has managed the economy. Well, people say we are in economic downtimes. Do you think that is going to be an albatross around your neck as a candidate on the ticket of the MPP going into the 2024 election? How really would that impact your chances?
Well, that's the opinions of other Ghanaians. Other Ghanaians too have the opinion that our government has done so well in managing this economy. We know the issues that came up recently and issues we faced. I won't stand here and say we are not facing issues. We are. But the government is doing its best to resolve all these issues.
If you're new to
Fair enough. What we are going to do is we are going to communicate all the good policies and the reasons why the MPP should be given the mandate come 2024 to continue the economic turnaround that we've started. I mean, we know where we are coming from as a country before 2016, and we know where we've got into as a country. If for nothing at all, Klote Kole here, we needed a municipality for a very long time. We came to power. It was one of the things the president promised. He delivered. He gave us the municipality. Now, unemployment rate, the percentage has dropped here because a lot of boys and a lot of people have got work to do in the municipal. Talk of free SHS. I come from a community in Osu where way back when you complete it used to be GSS. When you complete GSS, I mean, you cannot, if you can't afford, you are a dropout. But for the interventions of President Nana Akufo-Addo and this MPP government, now in my constituency, I can boldly tell you, everybody who completes GSS goes to secondary school. We are looking at how best we can even assist them to go into the tertiary education.
Describe the contest between you and Zanoto in 2024. Describe this in just a word for me.
It's going to be fact-based, and the job is going to be on the grounds.
Okay, so that is Ninote, who has just been declared winner for the New Patriotic Party ahead of the 2020 for general parliamentary election. Now let me run you through how he emerged winner. Now in Koleklote, we had about 4 people picking the nomination form for the NPP, but one had to drop out. That is lawyer Prince Deborah, who had to drop out based on the fact that he had personal reasons, and so he dropped out, leaving the contest to 3 people: Ninote, Harold Korte, and Rexford and Sam, who actually had to battle it out to know who would emerge winner for this parliamentary elections on the ticket of the NPP at this Orphan constituency. So Ninote had 883 votes, and then Harold Korte had 116 votes, and then Rexford and Sa had 94 votes. Expected candidates to vote today were 1,152, but only
Any standby. So that's my colleague Elvis Ando reporting there and telling us what is happening at the constituency. So if you're still watching, just know that the Ninoy Norte has won the Korle Klote seat, and there's more development in some constituency where, especially in the Nkwanta South, there's this case where they said one vote, one television is ongoing in the Nkwanta South constituency. Television said, well, yes, that's the facts we are receiving out from Metro TV.
It may not be facts.
They are facts.
They are, no.
Okay.
They are.
TV, I can see
no,
the television.
all the information we're receiving, even if your reporter tells you.
No, they are not telling, they're showing us evidence, pictures.
No, the fact that even in court, you cannot use pictures and videos as proof.
So, I'm saying what I'm seeing.
It has to be beyond reasonable doubt.
I'm reasoning in it, I've seen it.
By the video you're seeing. What if some people have just gone to the market to buy TV and someone videoed them and is alleging that
everyone is holding TV?
Yeah, they went to the market to buy.
Election day.
Yes.
On a Saturday.
Yes.
Who will show up on Saturday?
Assume today is TV buying day.
Exactly.
Today is not Black Friday.
TV buying day.
Some promo going on.
Some promo.
Yeah.
Charlie, Black Friday and all these issues.
I mean, yeah, I don't want the TV.
All right, so you guys all want to debate that. We'll get that another time.
It's International TV Buying Day, so don't worry.
So, Martin, what will bring you to the conversation? What do you make of the...
All right, I think so far, looking at the two people we've heard so far, that is Dokua and then Ninoy, I think it's very interesting. You see, for Dokua coming all the way from Kwapim North to win Okankwe North, I don't know, becoming the
winner
for this MPP party. I think it's going to be tough because looking at the results from that 2020 elections, the NDC lady who won won with about 2,000 votes difference. So it means that the people in the constituency or the electors like the lady.
We're in Korle Klote.
No, Okankwe North. Yeah. Okay. So Dokua coming all the way from Kwapim North to contest that seat on the ticket of MPP is what we are thinking that on the general elections, if she'll be able to make that impact to the point that she has to win that seat from the NDC, that's what we're also considering. And looking at Korle Klote. With the Ninoy thing, I think Ninoy has been long overdue. Ninoy wanted to win that seat, I think 2016 or so. That's where they had that misunderstanding between himself and then lawyer Philip Anderson and all that. They had to go to court to have all this. So finally, they had to lose the seat for Zanato. Currently, Zanato is the MP for the area, and I think it's interesting. Going forward, we're hoping to see the best candidate to win that seat once again. Whether Zanato is going to maintain the seat for NDC or Ninoy will be able to take it from Zanato. That's also now looking
interesting.
at.
That as well. I don't think the Zanato won with about over 39,000. The MPP won with about 31,000. It's not so. It's not so close. It's not so wide either. Yeah. I mean, Ninoy carries a candidature that is very attractive and a grassroots person, very known in the community. He's been there for ages. He's gone through the election experience, so they have a history with him and they have some familiarity with him.
Yeah. I grew up in Nadabaka, so I know how people are.
We are Nadabaka boy.
Nadabaka boy. So yeah, so that
Adabaka, those people come out. You say Tama we say TM. So Adabaka is what?
AD.
Oh boy.
I thought I flagged. You were just going to say.
I'm telling you, we'll go there. So the fact is, you have to have a relationship. Almost everyone knows Ninoy, where he came from, how he grew up. So from the orphan stages, events and programs, you find him there. So he's been able to garner the followership, the support, especially once you're able to get the Adabaka market woman. they will be people who push you, and the churches in Adabaka. So I'm sure he's done his groundswork quite well, and we're hoping that probably going to the main election, it can be a
it's very strategic to pitch him against Zaneto and find out the two candidates which appeals to the people of Adabaka. How has Zaneto, played her role as MP for the terms that she's been in office? I think she's also enjoyed from her father's glory days. I think that adds to her candidature, makes it quite attractive for her to, either hold on to the seat or, win, whatever it is. But with Ninoy coming in, she really has to lace her boots, because Ninoy carries some weight in that particular constituency. And looking at the gap of over 39,000 and 31,000, I'm not sure that it will be too difficult for Ninoy to overtake. So she would have to be strategic about how she would have to do her things in winning or in, holding on to the seat. But in the area of the Okankwe North, come to think of it, Theresa Awuni, is a woman, of course. And maybe the MPP is considering, let's pitch a woman against a woman. Yeah. If you put a man against a woman, what do you think is likely going to be the results? Women normally attract, and we have some level of sympathy. Sometimes we get level of sympathy from voters. That doesn't mean you shouldn't do well. Yeah, you have to prove that
the case in scenario is the case concerning the Legon constituency.
Lydia Hassan and John Dumelo.
So you realize that although Dumelo,
the woman candidature sometimes
quite strong,
attracts. Yes.
Yeah, and if you look at the voting class, we have a lot of women in youth. So they are easy to fall for a woman candidature, especially everyone say the motherly nature, the soft part. It's easy to sell a woman candidate that sometimes male candidate. You have to prove so much with potential, with what you've done. For instance, if you are to contend someone who has not much history in election, you have to use. Well, you look at Dumelo's case like this. He was going for the first time, although many have said he has tried, but someone was there before he came. So it was all a matter of game and strategy. So I'm sure they will decide on that.
But you see, for Lydia Al-Hassan, I'm not sure. Maybe Elvis can help us understand. When it comes to Ayawaso West, I mean, I was friends with Lydia's husband, Emmanuel Ejakum, before he passed. And I know, my office, I used to work with Sky TV then. Yes. And my office was in his constituency. So he was very, very, very committed to my station, that anytime you called him, he will not go anywhere. But once it's Sky TV that's calling him, he will come. So we built this relationship with him. And from that, I knew the relationship he had with constituents. He was very committed to his constituency. Always. He was a lovable person. He was a go-to person. He knew the constituency so much. He knew what he had to do, what the constituency needed. So I'm sure Lydia also is enjoying from the glory days of Emmanuel Ejakum, I think.
He laid the foundation quite well.
I think so.
Those types of campus, you see Mr. Jacob come to
exactly.
Campus,
I think so.
So it was easy for him to flow.
So she would have to hold on to that. Yeah. She has to work a lot to hold on and prove that she's really a people's person. Because I don't see that people's person that I saw in Emmanuel Ejakum with Lydia Al-Hassan. I'm not sure what you think. Yes.
Okay. So I agree entirely with your analysis about the late Emmanuel Ejakum, who happened to be a very personal friend also heading up to his death. May he rest in peace. Now, there are very interesting things I want to talk about Lydia. Honorable Lydia is, we all know she's been wife of the late Emmanuel Ejakum and subsequently took over the reins of power from the husband. How did this happen? And how did she controversially even win the primaries she won at the time? Remember, there was no consensus at the party level for her to go unopposed.
Right.
There was a very fierce, one of the most difficult primaries of our parties happened there at that time. And none of the players was a little person. How did she win it? It's a huge pointer to the analysis we've got to be making. And how did she subsequently override the NDC, not just in that election, but in the subsequent one she won? So clearly, it leaves a lot to be desired in respect of, whom she is. Now I want to reveal that some of the things that made the husband whom he was to the grassroots were actually charged by this woman.
Okay.
You see, she is one of those dangerous politicians who is not, you won't see her on the streets. She's not outspoken, but she has a strategy in impacting on lives of families and persons, and wouldn't even talk about
without
it.
necessarily being on screen.
Yes, she's not a social media. In fact, she's not just a media person. If you observe her well, she shies away from the cameras. For me, that is the biggest punchline she gives to her opponents. So that might just be the magic for her. And I foresee another victory for that woman, both in the primaries and in the general elections. You made mention of how the husband would come to Legon in particular, and I also happen to be a Legon boy. The husband will come charge up with V-mate. Charlie, you be V-mate? Yeah, be V-mate. So they will come and charge up. And that is what we want. The woman have actually not left that out. She has a way of engaging leadership so you see, the husband will come personally.
The vandals.
He wouldn't.
But the husband was a vandal.
He was a vandal.
Exactly.
So it was understood. He understood the cult and tradition of being a V-mate. Now, the wife wouldn't, but she walks in the shadows of the husband. And she knows how to engage the leadership of students, the leadership of, Commonwealth, the leadership of SRC, and all of that from all the other campuses. And what she does is she's looking at solutions to problems that affect students. She wouldn't even talk about politics. She wouldn't even say, oh, you put any sign there that this thing is donated by me. I know enough these water situations on the campuses. I know what she has done. Hostel issues, I know what she has done, to the extent that she can say that, you know what, I have rented this whole house, that whole compound, give it to students. So some of these things for a constituency like that will carry the day. And when it comes to the other dimension of language, he has that ever northern blend. And she practically speaks almost all the languages across that particular constituency, starting from Hausa to Gan to Twi and to Dagomba to some northern languages. These are sociological factors you cannot ignore in an analysis of who wins an election. Then women who constitute a major assembly of the voters see her as not just a woman, they actually see her as a widow. That for an African society is very critical. She's not only a woman, she is a widow. She understands the plight of children, she understands the plight of women. If not for anything at all, she will be accessible. That may not be found in John Dumelo, who will be seen as a celebrity with a certain social class that have access to him. So for me, these are the things, if I were to be a consultant for the NDC, those are the things they should work out. And I think Dumelo is not doing bad. Even his recent walk after
I think he's also using the strategies that work for him.
Yes. So after promising that should his school loses, he's going to walk backward. He did that. Those were some of the things I believe were politically strategic to expose him to the people that, look, I can come to any level in spite of the fact that I am a celebrity. So clearly, Ayawaso West Wagon is an interesting place to watch out for. But Lydia has silent, soft power, mechanisms, and
it
that
seems like you are really selling Lydia. We have information coming through. That Bernard Okuboy has won a landslide victory.
Yay!
It was expected anyway.
I've declared my bias.
You've been exposed.
I've been exposed. In fact, at this point, I don't care.
It's won by 902 votes. Olenu had 354 votes. Clifford had 199 votes. Ibrahim had 180 votes. 9 votes were rejected. So the total was 1,748 votes cast on that constituency. So, Okoboy,
give us the results again. Give us the results again.
Okay. Okoboy, let me give you. Okoboy won by 902 votes, while the others, so basically around over
mention their names. I want the
Okoboy 902, Olenu 354 votes. Clifford had 199 votes. Ibrahim had 180 votes, while 9 votes were rejected. So in total, they had 1,748 votes cast. Yes. Result from Manya Krobo. It seems the results are now trooping in. Let's see who won. Who won in that constituency? Simon Kweku Tete won by 430 votes. Simon Kweku Tete won by 430 votes. In the whole constituency, about 800 people voted in that constituency. So Simon won by 430 votes. Linda Kokochu Adadevo got 219 votes, while Robert Teteifio Ajase had 142 votes. So Simon Kweku Tete won by 430 votes. So we also got information the Adentan constituency has also been a very interesting...
You want to see another action?
Tell me.
Give me the results.
All right, let me give you what came through from the... Okay, the figures actually have not come through, but according to what I can confirm, it appeared that Akosia Menu has been declared the candidate-elect for the Adentan constituency.
Yay!
Yeah, Akosia Menu.
It was obvious. I enumerated a number of these critical, constituencies and gave a prediction. I don't want to call. I was being pushed to mention as to whether they were insider information. No, I just think that it is based on my analysis of knowledge in these areas. But it was pretty sure that Adenta was looking straight to, a very appealing person who will be able to wrestle power, given the history, the NPP, the history that forms basis for our defeat in that particular constituency. So yes, we hope that she'll be able to pull the youth along. We hope that the life she has touched being a deputy at the National Youth Authority will come to bear. Again, we are sure that she should appeal to her mothers and sisters. And so, like I said, for the MPP, this is a very scientific election we're going into. We're not even going to make mistakes about it, so that we don't have the kind of parliament we have again.
So we have Jefferson Saki also winning. We're told. I think the results will come in soon. Won? But we're told that we're getting information that Ablekuma
Central, yes.
That he's. What do you make of Jefferson's candidature? I love his candidature.
I think that.
Information come to Sudan.
So do we describe these as established candidates or the candidates for the establishment?
They are not established candidates. Let me say that the establishment candidate thing sometimes is just a political gimmick, to intimidate your opponent on the ground. You may not have received a dime from the presidency, but the fact that you deceive people, you may not have received a dime.
You may not, or you may.
Yes,
you
yes.
may.
So it's on the.
You may receive.
It's on the score of probability.
Or you may not.
And I'm saying that in certain cases, and you should be smart. More smarter to realize why I'm saying it in respect of this constituency.
Interesting. We have Ernestina.
The guy worked hard for his thing.
Who is currently in Adenta constituency. She's on phone. She's there to give us an update. Ernestina, good afternoon. You're live on Metro.
Good afternoon, Wednesday.
What can you report?
Right. So voting has ended right here at the Adentan constituency. The election took place at the Victory Presbyterian Church School at Fafaha here in Adentan. And as the election came to an end, Akosia Menu, as you mentioned earlier, was declared the winner of this particular contest. And here are the results. Kwesi Obeng Fosu, who is the former spokesperson for Energy Ministry, had 638 votes, 638 votes. Akosia Menu Kozi, the deputy CEO of NYA, came up with 814 votes, 814 votes, whilst Winfred Nate Obimpe came up with 18 votes, 18. total valid votes cast was 1,470. Total rejected votes were 2, and the total votes in the box were 1,472. And so, of course, Akosua May Nukosi has been declared as the NPP parliamentary candidate elect for the Adentan constituency. And after her declaration, she spoke to the media and she made mention that, yes, we all know Adentan constituency is a swing seat. She's ready to go into contest with a sitting member of parliament for the area, which is Abu Ramadan. And according to her, because of Adenta being known as a swing seat, she has confidence that, of course, in the upcoming general election in 2024, she's going to take over the seat from the incumbent member of parliament for the area. And one good thing also is her king contender, which is Kwesi Obeng Fosu. At the end, as she has been declared the winner, we saw the two exchanging pleasantries, with Kwesi cheering her up and congratulating her for winning the contest. And Wednesday, earlier, there was a scuffle which occurred at this particular voting center. It had to do with some macho men who stormed the voting center and they clashed with the police. It took reinforcements to calm the situation, and this is based on some accusations flying all over, for which the police and party executives could not confirm to the media what exactly the situation is. But then we had the General Secretary of the NPP, Justin Frimpong Kodia, coming around, and he spoke to the executives, and all we heard him say was to tell them that if anyone has any issue with whatever is ongoing on grounds, they should channel it using the right mechanism, but not to take the laws into their hands and cause any scuffle. And of course, we could all remember Double in the Ayawaso West Wogon by-election that happened. He is the center of, or he was the center of this particular scuffle that occurred here a few hours ago when voting was ongoing. And so after that, the situation caused, hello?
During this scuffle, was there a reported case of anyone being injured during this incident?
Of course, I saw some people having blood oozing through their nose, but then they couldn't confirm to us the number of people that the police have arrested or the number of people that have been injured. The police have been mute on this particular issue until the end of the elections now. They've not been able to speak to us. Of course, Shaman his 17 was also here, but he denied speaking on that particular issue. But all that they are trying to put across is that, of course, they are entering into a king election, which is next year, contesting with Abu Ramadan. And so all they could preach is to call for unity within party members, because information that we picked up indicates that these macho men are all members of the New Patriotic Party. Wednesday.
Thank you very much, Tina. Tina is with us here, giving us update from Adentan constituency. And we've seen from what she's been reporting that Akosua May has been declared the winner of that particular seat. And hopefully going into the 2024 election, she is geared to give a run-up for Abu Ramadan, especially for taking over in the House of Parliament. So, okay.
So you know, I'm just looking at results.
I need your microphone.
So Adamu pulled 63,000 in the 2020 election, 63,436, making 55.9%. Yabua being at the time pulled 49,255, making 43.4%, and then the rest shared. We had GUM, we had CPP also showing in there. But Elvis, so 63,000 and 49,200. Yeah, then sometimes it's a swing actually. Yes. Not so much of a swing like what's his name? Okoboy's constituency. What's his name? Lejokuku. Lejokuku is just super swing.
Super swing.
4 years.
No debates.
I mean,
but
Adenta, I mean, sometimes Adenta can also be very. Adenta is a metropolitan area. It's also very fluid.
Apart from Edu, what's the name? Former MP. Edwasari.
Yeah, the rest, who held on for a while.
Yeah, for 2 terms. The rest actually
Adenta, you just go for 1 term.
And 1 term.
You just have to plan that you are going for 1 term.
Adenta is a very difficult constituency.
Adenta
is more, as compared to Lajokuku, more elitist. I mean,
yes, this is the analysis I was going to make. If you look at Adenta constituency is more elitist. The people there don't need you to campaign for them to decide on who to vote for. They don't look at exactly. They don't make a comparison really of those coming on board as much as the conduct of the incumbent who have made promises and have not been able to deliver on them. So clearly it's always a dangerous place for incumbent people. But if you look at a contrast with that of a place like Lejokuku, it is more of an indigenous environment where clans and, I don't want to say ethnic balances, but clan and lineage in itself decides election victory without particular need of performance. If it was having anything to do with performance, I don't think Dr. Okoboy would have actually lost that election. So a multiplicity of clan and indigenous related variables comes to play in very traditional setups like the Teshinungwa area and just like Osu and Dabraka. Those are critical issues. Yes, and you know why I'm saying that, because these are rural in urban areas. Let me put it that way. In terms of their adherence to cultural and social norms. Okay, I come from a rural place in the Upper West region, and so I very much so relate with the difficulty with politics in those kind of environments where any little thing counts. And so on a daily basis, you are very frustrated. You give up your best, yet you are... He's not only well anchored in his party, whether we like it or not, he benefits, from the shadow effects of the position of the sister. And so you have that kind of a situation. You don't expect the flag bearer of the NPP now to rigorously campaign against his in-law. You see, it's okay, so let me grant this clarity.
How did she play in his candidature? If you look at
I want to grant this clarity, okay? Else my own party will not even understand the analysis I am making. I said he works in the shadow benefit of that is to say that the sister either doesn't play a role or plays a very passive role. But to the effect that he is the sister's brother, so to say, okay? And given that you have...
But are you saying, is that to say that the NDC...
So you have an NPP establishment where the wife, the second lady of the country, has a brother. Blood is thicker than water. Has a brother contesting the election.
But when it comes to politics and parties' allegiances, in Ghana, it's a very different thing. To the extent that even blood relations can go at each other.
At the grassroots.
Just because
this happens with the grassroots. It doesn't happen with those sharing the goodies of power. Being very honest with you. Okay, my direct senior brother contested the Solatona Kalba NDC seat. He's Ernest Botta, he is an NDC man. I am Elvis Botta, the last born of the house, I'm an NPP man. When it comes to sharing the goodies of and the spoils of politics, you will not find what you are saying there. But our support base, okay, can have that kind of a challenge. And I'm saying that in the case of Adenta, we are going to have, because the lady who just won will need the holistic support of the top. Where will be the stance of the flag bearer of the NDC, given that it is his brother-in-law who is contesting the seat? Certain things he would have been able to say on campaign platforms. If it was any other person, he will be measured. And that is understood. If, for example, it also has to do with resources, and his brother-in-law comes to say that I'm running elections, I want you to print posters for me. Do you really think, let's be objective, that he can look at him in the face and say, no, because my party have fielded a candidate, I'm not going to give you posters? These are critical things we as a party will have to go back to the drawing board to look at and what we can do to play around the game. But by and large, it's early days yet. We will look at it. I don't want to give pointers to any particular speculation, but I'm saying there's going to be a tough decision for the flag bearer of the NPP and his wife, given that they have a lovely daughter, political daughter, who has won primaries as against a blood brother for the wife and an in-law for he himself. We are human beings.
Political daughters. I'll bring Martin into the conversation very soon. But before that, we have Frederick Williams, one of our colleagues, reporting from the Npp constituency, where he is reporting us on what is happening there, especially now that Okoboy has been declared to be winner of that seat. Hello, are you there, Williams? Okay, we've lost Williams, so we're still following up on some development in some constituency. I think we have Maxwell, who is currently at Odododio, whom we're going to speak with. Good afternoon, Maxwell. Hello, Maxwell.
Yeah, good afternoon, Lucy.
All right, tell us, what can you report?
So, the counting and results declaration just ended in the next, I think, 4 minutes ago. And let me take you through the result. So, total delegates who are supposed to vote today are 1,306. Total vote cast is 1,267. Rejected vote is 6. So, Manef Soa, who's number 1 on the ballot, got 737 votes. 737 votes. Neil Lantebanama got 524 votes. So, I can say that Manef Soa has been declared the winner from the Odododio constituency, and he will be leading the MPP in the constituency in the coming 2024 general election.
So, actually, how is the mood currently in that constituency since the declaration?
So before the declaration, when the votes were being counted, the supporters of Manef were jubilating because the agents were feeding them with information. After declaration, they were happy between both parties, both Nilante Banaman and Manef Soa. There's peace, jubilating. There wasn't any agitating or anything. They're peaceful here at the Odododio constituency. The police were here in their numbers to make sure that peace and others have taken place. I think for now, they are all gone back to their various homes or locations. Even with the police here at the center here at the Odododio. Wednesday.
Maxwell for giving us update. Maxwell is giving us update from the Odododio constituency, where Manef Soa has been declared winner of that constituency with a vote of 737 votes, while Nilante Vanaman lost by 527 votes. Total vote cast in that constituency is 1,306 votes, with 6 votes rejected. So that's what's going on in the constituency. So the surprise that I can see from offices, Martin, what do you make
you see, that's why I was asking that. It looks as if those areas, like the Odododio, Ablekuma South, they don't want to, especially MPP, they don't want to maintain a particular candidate. It looks as if they keep changing. Ever since.
Remember, I told you earlier on that Odododio seems to have that history of if you go one and you don't win, they remove you. Another person you don't win, they remove you. They have that history. So if you go and you don't, unless they've changed the status quo, you are likely to lose. So I'm sure that Nilante Banaman should have known this. And you know there's been scuffle in that constituency between Nilante Banaman and Manaf at some point where it was even bloody, you know. So Manaf, I think, may have won a certain level of sympathy. You know, with that scuffle that happened, you know, amongst the two contenders, right?
There is an interest.
So I was comparing Odododio to Ablekuma South for about, I think this is the third time I've seen that, you know, constituency also changing a candidate. When I went there earlier, there was a lawyer. They changed the lawyer for one Brown to contest for 2020. Now they've changed the Brown for another lady. And I don't know why they keep doing that. Probably things did not go well earlier, during the earlier stages. They could have maintained one person to try for the second time, but they keep changing. I don't know if that is the magic or what.
Election has its own dynamics. Sometimes the monetization of election votes can also play a key. Sometimes your message that you sell to the delegates may not go down well. Sometimes also you may not have garnered enough loyal followers.
Okay.
To get loyal followers takes time. And you have to convince the key leaders, the leadership of that particular constituency before you can get the support of the elders in the constituency. You speak to the chiefs and kings before you can move on. And so that is probably how it goes on. We have our colleague KB, who is also reporting from the Rwandan constituency, Madina constituency. KB, you're live on Metro TV. KB?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear. Please go ahead.
Okay. Welcome to Madina Lankwantana constituency. Everything has been done successfully, and then Robert Lante has been declared a winner for the PC. So here is the information. The total number of votes is 1,358, and then rejected we have 7, and then total valid vote is 1,351. At the end of the calculation, Robert Lamte got 982. Abdul Rahman Dailu had 5, and then Padmo Bafo Japan had 361. Solomon Boating had only 3. So Robert Lamte has been declared as a winner for Madina, Lankwantana Madina constituency. So everything has done successfully. So as of now, we have finished everything now.
Okay, thank you very much, KB, reporting from the Madina constituency. As you can see here, the winners have been declared. We have we have graphical representation of the election results, so that is coming on your screen right now. So the result from the Kintampo North constituency, Dr. Kweku Anane Jinde had 143, while Honorable Isaac Bafo Ameyao had 681. Total valid vote cast, vote 824, while rejected vote 5, spoiled 1. Total vote cast, total valid vote cast, we have 827. That directly means Honorable Isaac Bafo Ameyao has won the seat for the Kintampo North, Kintampo South actually. So now result.
Yeah. Okay, so let me take the next one is what results from the Okankwe North constituency. We have Ken Kranche having 27, Prince Owusu-Mensah 6, Alberta Ifiakoto got 228, and also Stefan Nyako got 105, Fuseni Isa got 114, and also Nana Madukia pulled 341 votes. The votes cast totaled 821. You know, there's one thing I forgot about Okankwe North. You know, Nana Madukia and Ifiakoto are friends. It just struck me.
Well,
yes. Yeah. Or they are no more friends. Okay, they're still friends.
Yeah, and I'm particularly happy with the civility that characterized them.
Okay. So we have more vote results. So this is from the one from Sege constituency, Doji Numekevo had 293 votes. Eunice Lassie 170, total vote cast 463, meaning Doji won that seat, basically the Sege constituency.
This is Shai Osudoku. So Shai Osudoku, we have Benjamin, is it Nanye? Okay. He pulled 283, and then we also have Jonas Opata got 180, Awate Kwesi Noah got 148, and Archibald Terrier also pulled 64. Total vote cast 675. So it means that Benjamin Nanya is the one that actually emerged the winner of the Shai Osudoku constituency.
All right, the result from Tampane constituency.
Tampane. Timpani constituency. No, but this guy has to migrate from Ghana.
Very seriously. Ibrahim Bashiru had 229 votes. Joseph Dindiok Kwenka had 292. Total delegates 531. Total votes cast 521. Total polling station 98. Rejected vote 1. So directly means that Joseph.
Yeah.
Joseph.
I'm happy for him.
Former deputy
attorney general. I mean,
interesting development. It was quite tight.
I know.
Yeah.
No, I like the fact that he won.
Yeah. Penka suffered.
I think he has been bitter since he lost.
But it's good. And you know, that particular constituency, once he's won, he's coming to parliament. Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
The next.
Yeah. Okay. So, well, congratulations to Kwemka. But results from Zebula constituency also. Adongo Frank Fuseni polled 184. Dr. John Kingsley Kudugu polled 545. Rejected 1. Total votes cast 630. Means that Dr. John Kingsley Kudugu is the one that won the Zebula constituency. Constituency.
We'll come to the dynamics of the whole voting structure after giving you the results. So just stay glued to Metro TV. We have result from Ablekuma South constituency where Samuel Latte had 559 votes. Rita Aquile Adote had 379. Number of delegates 1,008 vote. Rejected ballot 0. Total vote cast 938. Meaning Samuel Latte won the seat. Annie?
Right. Results from Akwetia. Akwetia also has NS Kumi polling 330. Amase. 268. So NS Kumi emerged the winner from Akwetia constituency. We're sorry. We apologize for the curse word. I must say. Okay.
It is well. Result from that entire constituency: Akosia Menu 814 vote. Akwesi Obin Fosu 638. Winfred Nate had 18 votes. Total vote cast 1,470. Akosia Menu is currently with that entire constituency.
Akosia, congratulations to you. So German constituency here, Michael Ansa polled 113, Paul Ansa polled 131, and Pius Hajide polled 423. Okay, Abroka polled 95. Total vote cast made 762. That's a German constituency. So Pius Hajide is the emerged winner of this contest of the primaries, 400.
So stay glued. We'll bring you the analysis of the various winners shortly. But before then, the Manya Krobo constituency, we have Simon Kweku Tete polling 430 votes. Linda Kokochu Adadevo 219. Robert Tetefio Ajase had 142. Rejected vote 5. Total votes cast 800. So it appeared that Simon Kweku Tete won the seat of the Manya Krobo constituency with 430. Now, Annie will take the last one. We'll come back to the studio for more analysis.
So let's go to Manya Krobo constituency. Simon Kweku Tete gave us 430 votes. Linda Koko Chu Adadivo also polled 219. And Robert Tetefio Ajese polled 142. So it means that Simon Kweku Tete is the one that emerged the winner with 430 votes. The rejected is 5 and total votes cast 800. Right.
Yeah, so
that's your election central. Well, this is your election central, and we're bringing you all the details of the results that we're getting. But I must say,
yes, I was seeking an opportunity to comment on Ododo Diodio earlier.
Okay.
But in the case of Amase, I just want to. It's so much of a personal issue to me. I think that, we've not been too fair with this woman. Politics have not been too looking at the circumstances. leading up to her defeat in the issues in the last primaries forcing her to go independent after she had gone out of her way to marshal to pick up the seat for the NPP, against all odds. I think that when we do that, we are not encouraging critical grassroots people into partaking in our, democracy and particularly playing key roles. So I was thinking that this particular period of contest would have been an opportunity for the party to, as it were, rejuvenate the good times and to take an opportunistic capitalization of this particular contest to redeem our image in repairing the kind of entrenched situations that went wrong there. But I'm not to sit here to challenge the decision of the delegates. I respect it so much, and I will abide by it, but I just extend my sympathies to her. At least the party has done well allowing her come back from her independent bid, which naturally wavered her, forfeited her membership of the party. Yeah. The party nonetheless wavered that and gave her the chance to contest. For me, that is encouraging enough. We wish her well. She shouldn't give up. I believe she's an icon.
Personally, I think this time around, the party should have given the opportunity, all the support she needed. You should have given to her to win this particular, position to become the candidate for the party, because as some of these miners who were in her camp pushing that Mercy or Amasi should have gone on the independent candidate, but because of the love of the party, she decided to, allow things to go. But, at this particular moment, I don't know. She, those miners who were...
You don't want to say it.
Those miners who were in the camp, supporting in terms of finance and all that, decided to leave her because they felt, she did not go by the suggestions they made to her. However, she decided to maintain or being the MPP member as she is. Yet, the party could not do anything to favor her. Even the promises she had not to leave the party during that time, could not be fulfilled. And all that, she has maintained to be an MPP member. So at this time, I'm sure, she was hoping to be the candidate or whatever for the party, yet it did not work again. I don't know the fate of Amasi this time around.
But are you surprised about the Dodio constituency?
You see, again, this constituency falls within the category of the likes of Lejokuku, and if not in a higher order, it falls within that basket. You see, there is an interesting variable in that equation we are not taking into particular consideration. Neelante Bannerman is cousins with Neelante Van der Poel. Neelante Van der Poel of the NDC, who is incumbent MP, actually says publicly he's not going to contest again. Now, it gives people the thinking that, given the strategic nature of that family, if Van der Poel is not going, then Bannerman is likely going to win. Then the question that arises is this constituency just for them? Are they the only ones? So you realize that the disaffection of people in the Neelante Van der Poel camp of the NDC, or fence voters who supported his bid and probably got dissatisfied, I'm talking about the disgruntled ones, have likely carried that particular, anger into making grapevine statements that, no, MPP, once this man is going, this is your chance, but don't bring his cousin. That is a significant thing with high impact in such internal elections. Then I agree with you. The other issue is my agreement with her that, look, given the earlier scaffolds that happened in that constituency, clearly, Manaf benefited support because he was seen as not only the underdog but the victimized in all those situations. And then, of course, there was this propaganda, and like it or hate it, in such settings, it works. You remember when we went with the president ahead of the 2020 elections? He lifted Neelante Bannerman's hand, and he started that if they vote for him, also vote for Nilante Vanderpoel. Nilante Vanderpoel. Then he tells say, Mankani Yekra Nilante Banaman. You see, so people, one of the campaign then was, Charlie, this man self, the president, no knowing him. I'm telling you, yes, that campaign happened in Ododo.
It can.
That this man self, the president, a man whose name the president forgets and endorses his opponent. No.
And this could be used as a campaign message.
Could be. It was used as a campaign message. And this is how fragile internal elections can be. And it's significant. How can you become Nilante Vanderpoel all of a sudden in the mind of your flag bearer and president when you are Nilante Banaman? It means if you were integral in his issues as president, he wouldn't mistake you. He's not going to mistake you for Vanderpoel.
Yes.
You get it? So, well,
we have results coming through from the Cape Coast constituency.
Central region.
Indeed, there's a lot of figures that...
If you can give me... I want us to see the Akwetia results again. So, if the Akwetia results are there, where Amasi actually couldn't make it.
The difference was not quite
it
much.
Was not but if we can get, so this is NS polling 330 and I must say polled 268. It was close. Number of votes cast 500 and it was close. Okay. But you know, I'm not sure, how does Mercy or Amase, how does she, is she a media friendly person? Knowing that she's actually been in parliament before. Yeah, she's been in parliament before, but is she media?
I wouldn't say she's a media person. She's a very natural and real person. She's a traditional woman, who is focused on grassroots traditional things. She's not hoping to impress anybody. She does things to the best of her abilities. She's not hoping to make any particular noise. And in fact, because of her level of education, I don't want to call it a deficiency, because our constitution allows for you to speak any language anyway. An educational requirement is not a prerequisite to becoming an MP. And so if you look at it, in spite of this analysis, her entry into parliament was met with a lot of, I want to say, media mockery. And I think the media didn't do well on that thing. Generally speaking, the media, a hairdresser have gone to parliament. We heard things like that.
And hairdresser. You see, surprisingly, I must say...
No, but to be fair to the media...
statements on the floor of parliament.
I'm sorry, but to be fair to the media, the hairdresser comments, and it wasn't Metro TV, it was somewhere else.
If you are being fair to the media,
I want to... I want to be fair to the media. The hairdresser comment was not, in the way I heard it, it was not to mock her. It was like a form of encouragement, sort of hoisting the fact that a hairdresser person has been able to, because such people or such persons, no disrespect, are not the people you expect that they will go into. Exactly.
You see, one thing about...
Look at the person, she wrested power from. Someone we call hairdresser was able to take power from a whole Baba Jama. Looking at Baba Jama,
I am
it's
blaming
a comment that when you are analyzing,
I am blaming
as a media person, if you're analyzing such a result or election result, you cannot leave out who she is and what she does.
Yes, you cannot leave it out. But let us also understand that communication exists contextually. You have a social fabric where when you are discussing things within elitist perspective and you mention watchman, hairdresser, use carpenter, there are certain terms, though it speaks to the person, but at another dimension, depending on the platform it is being spoken, you may be indirectly creating a psychological situation where the person is undermined with that.
What they should think.
But
the narrative,
you said contextually.
Exactly.
In the context in which it was said,
so
it was not meant to mock.
It wasn't meant. No. My argument is not to say it was meant. But that gave popularity to even parts of the country where they didn't know a hairdresser had won elections. And the first reaction of people is to start laughing. Say hairdresser. For me, I think that it was then time for she herself, or maybe the party should have been strategic to help her in that direction.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
To organize a communication structure and a strategy to have taken advantage of that hype. turn the narrative, and it could become.
I think we've done the same for Fisheries Minister.
Hawa Kumsin, yes. So if Amma had benefited that kind of a strategy, she could have been riding on the back of this hairdresser, and beating doctors and professors on their seat. Yeah. I'm saying that we failed in that regard of the strategy. And so it was a good media hype to her person, but went wrong. That's the point.
And you cannot prevent us not to, I won't use the word mock, but giggle or laugh.
Yeah, that's the
at
point
persons
anyway.
who make wrong constructive English language, especially in Parliament.
Yeah.
We cannot. And to be honest with you,
no human being can, honestly.
Exactly.
Yeah, no human
the
being
laws
can.
are written in English.
Yeah.
They debate on them in English.
Yeah.
They pass LIs in English.
You see,
so I mean,
and that was one thing against her in this primary.
Exactly.
Yeah. You see, or committee level crown to me.
On to me Kasa. And so if you don't want us to make mockery, now I use the word mockery, of such situations, then change your approach in the House.
That's the qualification.
That the qualification is not English. Maybe I mean it's a parliamentary house.
Yes.
If an ally is read in English, we should have translators to help those.
And one thing is that Parliament accepts every Ghanaian language. As long as after speaking it, you'll be able to interpret it to the understanding of the rest of the members.
So they left it to faith, and she attempted 2 statements on the floor of Parliament, and they all became
because sometimes you have members of Parliament who really want to speak. They understand everything that's going on, but the construction of what to deliver.
So they'll not even bother.
You remember even an educated.
If the speaker cannot, what's it called? If the speaker or some of the MPs, some of the MPs obviously don't understand, I can. But if we have translators and they all have their headphones on, and there's an MP who really wants to express herself or himself.
Richard, we are even in a technological age. When we go for international conferences as part of foreign policy measures, for one country not to look, because immediately diplomatically, if I step into another country and let's say I go to France, and in going to negotiate on behalf of the people of Ghana, I go and I start speaking French. In real sense, you've already succumbed to them in a manner that is inferior. That is how come technology have made it possible in international conferences that you see they install softwares where if you have the Chinese there, the Russian there, the English there, once he starts speaking his Russian, the system automatically brings it out in the language it is programmed to bring it out. So if you are also speaking English, his system and earphones are giving him feedback in Russian, though you are speaking English. Why can't Parliament do that? Because in this country, when they went to China to order seats, or what was the issue, rearranging the house, several millions of Ghana cedis. Why can't we spend such monies to have this kind of system so that I may be good in English but prefer to speak Dagari on the floor of the house? So you can do that.
The question is Parliament ready to do that? Because there's been several times they themselves are having challenges, even with this those who used to be absent and present. They were requesting to have this clocking system. It's been years now. Even to fix that alone has become a problem.
Oh, wait.
So
that's something I'm not sure. The clocking system is not fixed.
No, it's not fixed. They keep writing.
Even so he knows what's
they keep writing. That is why just last Thursday they were struggling to get those who were absent, talking of the majority and minority, in adopting the.
Okay, interesting. Now we are moving straight to the Wutu Senya West, where my colleague Akwesi Ado is reporting from there. Akwesi.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, what's the latest update from the constituency?
Okay, so the latest update from here in the Senya West constituency is that the Director of Communications at the Presidency, Mr. Eugene Kofi Bentumahin, has won comprehensively by gaining over 800 votes out of the total votes that his opponent Amos Okan garnered just about 119 votes. Earlier on, I did speak with Mr. Eugene Ahin, who is pledging to snatch the seat back from the NDC, because as we do know, the NPP won the seat in the 2016 elections with Nenu George Anda, but lost with him the 2020 elections, and so Madam Gisela Tete won the seat for the NDC, and so Eugene is pledging to snatch the seat back from the NDC and then ensure that he brings development to this particular constituency. Now, 30 members have already begun jubilating, but calling for leadership of the party to ensure that they are able to get members united, just so they can be able to secure victory in the 2024 elections. According to them, they lost the 2020 elections, that is parliamentary, by virtue of the fact that the party wasn't united at the time.
Coming back to you for more updates and also some development from the constituency. That is the Uchi Senya where Eugene Ahin. Earlier before the election, he spoke to the media, and so let's give you that insight right now.
It's been very orderly. The Electoral Commission have done their work excellently, and the police have been here. So far, no incident worthy of comment. So I think so far, I'm very happy with the process so far, extremely happy. The sign of things to come, then probably I can say I'm confident of victory. Yeah, but some of these things, you just have to wait until the last ballot is counted. That's when you'll be able to say with all degree of certainty that you've been victorious. So for now, let me just err on the side of caution and just wait. Once the final ballot is counted and I see I have an unassailable victory, then we can jubilate. All of us were disappointed. At the turn of events in the 2020 elections. The president won this particular constituency, but unfortunately we lost the seat. Whatever be the case, it's incumbent on all of us, myself and my other contestants. All of us have one thing in mind, which is to wrestle the seats from the NDC candidate. That's the ultimate goal. So whatever it is we have to do, i.e. bringing the party together, bringing all members together. It's a contest. Not everybody will support one candidate. But at the end of the day, we are all members of the NPP family. So we just have to make sure that we all come together with one common purpose, and that is to get the seats back from there. I'm very confident. It's been almost 3 years. Constituents in this Ewutu West constituency, almost all of them are unanimous in their mind that all of them are literally disappointed in the performance of the MP. Almost everybody. But at the end of the day, I don't think that is enough to win the seat. So we all have to work hard. As I said, unity of purpose with one voice.
So Eugene Ahin is now been declared a winner of the constituency. So interesting development there. As to whether you are surprised or you were surprised by some of the candidates who won, we'll give you the chance to
Elvis
call.
will not agree, but these ones.
Definitely.
Established candidates of the establishment.
Candidate of the establishment.
That's what I described.
Okay. She doesn't know what. You just tell her.
The reality is that I will not even pretend.
Okay. Kindly switch on your microphone. Mm-hmm.
I was just addressing Annie's, issue or concern about establishment candidates. And I'm saying that, look, I'm not even going to deny it in certain circumstances. In every political system, even in the advanced economies, you can have establishment candidates. Yeah. I'm saying that relative to the particular constituency we were talking about, the guy suffered against hidden odds to win. He was not an establishment candidate. You remember that constituency we were talking about. But clearly there are some candidates who are establishment candidates, either directly or indirectly. And I have particularly suffered it. You see, sometimes there are things people at the top will do. You may not necessarily have been the one, they may not necessarily have been the one pushing your candidature, but then they can do things that suggest that. I'll give you a clear example. In 2019, the primaries in my constituency, Nadoli-Kaleo constituency, where I had a lot of odds from national down to the constituency, doing everything possible to say that, look, this boy is so independent-minded. He's not one of those malleable to their control, very outspoken, and my abilities became a threat to people. Let's make sure he doesn't get there. Now, I think few days, less than 2 weeks to my primaries, you see, at the back of this preamble I gave you, they had pushed a controversial contest against me. So much so that at some point the media wrote me off because I wasn't even speaking to the media. The media wrote me off that should I have 10% of votes, it would be a shock. But I won that election, okay, with a landslide victory of almost a 70% in Adolikele constituency. But less than 2 weeks to that election, we had the president coming to Upper West to visit some project sites, either commissioning or cutting sorts for some projects. There was no project in my constituency at all. There was no project to commission. There was no sword cutting ceremony. But the regional minister organized a deba of chiefs. And the person who appeared as the establishment candidate was the MCE. And the president came, and on that program, it was just the MCE, Kate Lankono. Okay, it was just the MC and the president who had to speak. And when the president was speaking, and all the people they bashed were delegates, the president said, "This is my daughter in whom I believe in. This is my daughter. She's so dear to my heart." And he left. What do you think was going to be the natural conclusion of people and candidates? So she herself was campaigning on the back of the case that, oh, even though I'm the deputy national organizer, but she's the establishment candidate, and it was clear in what the president did. Correct, right? There's nothing you can do about it. So in the case of people like Eugene Ahe, who are, over the years, boys around the president, he is not even going to pretend about it. The president will support them in their parliamentary bid. It happened in the case of people, the likes of Asenso. And you notice that even recently, even though we are not doing the parented constituencies yet, but recently, a small library. The president was in Kumasi at Bantama, and in opening that, small community library, what did he say? He said that this is my baby. I will be so hurt, referring to Asenso, I will be so hurt if you people don't take him back to parliament. So I'm not even going to sit here to pretend against issues of establishment. Sometimes so unfairly, it happens against Ada-Ani. I'm surprising you, right? It happens against some candidates, but be it as it may, it is one of the natural rules of the game, and there's nothing you can do about it.
And in the case of Eugene, I think personally I've heard President speaking to the people in the constituent, to vote for him, because I think President was going to cut short for the construction of their road or something. That it says, this road that I'm here today to cut the sword, I've been disturbed by your son. He's been worrying me. So indirectly, President is telling the people that, and it's also I'm doing this for you because of Eugene.
And let me say, not only the president, sometimes it is wiser for a whole party to take that strategy if you know that it is the best way to promote someone to win the seat. Otherwise, natural contest may bring a candidate, but who will not win the seat, especially with the kind of MP we have in that constituency now. We need to deliberately cook someone for it. The issue then lies with the ability of the same people, the president and top hierarchy, who support certain candidates directly or indirectly by way of their public conduct, to be able to, as it were, call the other side, calm you down, and try to make a market of what offer they have for you. Else, the easiest thing to do is, okay, the president have come to endorse you and you want primaries. Let him come and campaign for you to win the main election. And after such a promise, what you naturally record is to have the one who have lost with his people busily campaigning. Then that's where the skirt and blouse comes in. Then you lose the seat anyway. So I think that the lessons we should learn is that the places Nanado and some top hierarchy have made some of these statements. If they are true, I have not heard that one. If they are true, we must immediately get back to engage those who have lost. Else they will blame.
Eugene Ahe's,
yes.
In his situation, I personally have played the videos many times.
I see.
On Good Morning Ghana. I guess to a point I stopped playing because it's like me now. I'm campaigning for Eugene Ahe.
Yes, but when you do that, I don't think it's entirely fair, even if it is strategic. It's
let's bring some few violence into this conversation.
Violence.
Hey, violence.
Let me just.
I know you like
go off to the side.
Sam George just tweeted on his Twitter handle on Facebook, says, as promised, I quote him vividly, here are the results from the Ningro Prampam MPP parliamentary primaries. As predicted, my candidate won. And the loud kid who kept running his mouth in the media came last, as I predicted. Total votes 885. Michael Tete Eku, chairman, that is he calls him chairman, 410. Pat Lady won 324. Manche, whom he calls a loudmouth novice, 143. Now let the battle begin. Team Jata Lionborn Shewon She. Okay. So Sam George seems to be ready for the MPP in the Ningro Prampam. What do you make of that, Elvis?
Sam
George has been very keen on your recent elections running, and he has always served us with the results from. In fact, he's been the reporter in Ningro Prampam constituency.
Let me say that it may look funny what my good brother Sam George is doing, but I tell you, it is the height of political strategy. You know why? In political communication, we also have political marketing.
Mm-hmm.
And so every principle in marketing a product is applicable to the marketability of a candidate who is then a political product.
Okay.
So competitor analysis is critical in politics in two fronts, both at the front of the political organization, which is MPP in this case, relative to the position of Sam George, and the person. So one, Sam George must be extremely interested because he's making an analysis of all the contestants in the NPP and which of them carries what factors to give him a tough time or a run for his money and reputation. So his analysis should generally target at that. And if he even has what it takes to influence who wins, to make his work easier for him, he will be able to do that. It happens in politics.
I mean, these are some of the comments under his post. Peace is not an option, and he laughs.
Peace is not an option.
I mean, in the lighter,
yes,
in the lighter way. Your prediction was good. So in terms of political marketing, your prediction was good.
Yeah.
Easy for you to win, sir. Empty barrel makes the most noise, and he's talking about this guy who was making so much noise. He calls him loudmouth, and he predicted that he will lose. That in fact he will be last, and he came last. He pulled Manche. He pulled 149. So and then some other. This one says empty barrels makes the most noise. This one says cook and eat. Oh, so loud kid was no. Oh, I don't know what that means. This one says cool chop. This one says feast on them, Sam. This one says 2023 Sam George 1, Ben Efson 0. So that's like now making him look like
so clearly it tells you that Sam George developed a scientific approach to the, and that is important in his case because even in his own party, you notice that ahead of the 2020 election, the internal opposition was so much to the extent that he almost lost his primaries. Even though he improved in the vote, in the primaries this time, it only entrenches the pain of the internal opposition camp. Should the MPP have a stronger candidate, those people can support that stronger candidate to undo some. So it is only wiser for him to adopt a critically scientific approach to the electioneering. And once he has been able to do what he has done, you notice that the media comments from his social media group have started saying, oh, cool chop. It then swings from marketing to a psychological warfare. The one amongst them we knew was going to be, the person we can easily write off and go back to parliament eventually has won. So our strategy worked. Now, it will break the unity of the NPP if care is not taken because how did Sam George know all this? Could he have been supporting this guy behind the scene? What kind of relationship is between the two of them? Because I can actually sponsor my candidate, an opponent. I can sponsor the elections of my opponent to emerge, to compromise the general elections for me to sail through. So he's playing both a politically matured strategy and a psychological game already on the minds of both the NPP and the grassroots. So
I can say he did it quite well, because 2 hours before the declaration, he said, as usual, I would be declaring the result of the NPP parliamentary primaries in the Nungo Pram constituency. This on the straight up page 2 hours ago. He says, I expect the constituency chairman to win. Or therefore, the lady to come second and the loudmouth boy to come last. Stay tuned.
And that happened,
and
actually.
It happened in that order.
It happened in that order. So he was scientific about it. And the analysis I'm making cannot be taken out of the sale. So it even makes the work very difficult for the NPP. That look, it means that your opponent knows your candidate too well, knows your party too well, knows the mindset and direction of your delegates too well. So what at all can you do to win the elections against
Would it be easy for someone to sit somewhere, be thinking that Ningo Pram MP is controlling the MPP party in the constituency?
So this is the psychological issues I spoke about. All these things.
How come the way he arranged the thing, what he predicted, everything came?
You get what I'm talking about?
It has come to a level of policy,
I
especially
think that would be too extreme.
Exactly.
It will not be. No.
It really doesn't control them. That would be very extreme.
Okay,
but
so
it means
is it okay for us to say?
window.
Is it okay for us to say that, looking at what happened in the national level, especially the case of monetization, and at this level, probably in the main election, the number that someone may get as a vote probably represents people who are full, whose pockets have been full, instead of the people who rather think about the welfare of the constituency, who rather think about the project, the number of schools, hospitals that are needed in the constituency, and therefore choosing someone who is capable of bringing sad development, rather than choosing someone who the party is rather pushing because of what he can give to delegates.
Okay, so I think basically the conversation have been tilted now towards what community can get, not necessarily whose pocket is full. It's all about who understands the plight of the people and who is willing to sacrifice to bring that plight. But you see, when it comes to parliamentary elections, it goes beyond just development. We have contested in elections with people who are lagging behind, okay, in terms of development. You provide them good reasons that you can be the best developer, and yet they vote against you. Sometimes it depends on the party colors in that constituency, which party colors really source. And you realize that over the years from at least 2016 till now, the 2016 election, 2020, and this one we are going into, the NPP have not been strong enough. When Slightete went in 2012 and 2016, the NPP have not really been so strong in a place such as Ningo Pram in particular. Are you getting it? And so it is easier for you to realize that the party chose someone they know that if he wouldn't even win the election, but he should be able to at least maximize the base votes we have had from the abysmal performance in previous elections. And if you look at that particular chairman, the question you ask is, how did he win as chairman? Maintained and sustained the momentum and still convinced delegates and won again as parliamentary candidate. Because usually, few months after winning chairmanship position, if you are not careful, the nature of promises you give to delegates before winning chairmanship causes all of them to start marking you down for the next election to make sure you lose. So for you to win means that you've been able to sustain that momentum, and there is a great deal of confidence in you from the delegates. That is the only reason for which the chairman again stood for this election and won. But I still think that the general objective should be looking at somebody who, even if will not be able to win the election, will increase both presidential votes and some base votes. That becomes basis for them to lobby for a higher appointment for him. Then with that appointment, he can work out things, bring development to the constituency to then form basis for his victory in another election.
Now, let's bring you images of some alleged vote buying incident at some election centers. Is that
Yeah, I need more money. Show me more money.
What can I show to you?
And you got all this just today?
Just today. Just a few hours. Because I sacrificed my money.
Yeah. A bag full of cash.
First in history, I'll be a placenta.
Wow.
What is from 3 now? Let me ask you a picture. One look. Sorry. What is from 3 now? Let me ask you a picture. One look.
And my friend lost.
So when I said the television
Collins.
is the television show is on, I was being attacked here. Television, someone is getting a nice LD
Only
television.
being challenged. You were not attacked.
I felt
what
attacked.
Annie did. That is your feeling.
Fundamental human rights. Yes. So television sets. We saw some branded envelopes as well being given. Someone said he's never received that amount of money in 2 hours. So surprisingly, if he should be in traffic, today is a market day. Yeah, for him, it's really probably Good Friday, or let's say, Black Friday. Today is Black Saturday. It's made so much. So that's development. Initially, we started a conversation about monetization of election votes. So I was speaking to the fact that we'll have representative of people come to the House of Parliament, irrespective of the dynamics. One could say or tell the quality of people who we choose. Not possible, probably based on what the nation needs. We'll keep going through the same election political business cycle and how we are where we are today. Today I saw on a story posted by Daily Graphic, and I was very, very surprised that there was a time in the history of Ghana where we were manufacturing craft boats and selling to Europe and other countries. Ghana, we were manufacturing boats, putting it together, selling it to Sierra Leone and African countries, where we're making over 63,000 euros of money. Imagine all those times we had all those facilities and stuff. And if you look at where we are now, it's as if we are rather chasing what we had from different countries. So historically, Ghana shouldn't be where we are today. And we keep saying the youth are the future of tomorrow. We are the future leaders who are coming. The future, which future? The future is being held up with debt. By the time they get there, the money that they need to develop today, that money will not be available.
I know, decades ago, maybe we have to read more about it, but some of the things that Ghana used to produce, we went into certain treaties and agreements with nations that we will not produce. They bought the right from us. So we will not produce, and they will produce and sell it to us. And we probably, if we really want to, have time and know these things, let's get into it and read about them. You know that your leaders are not telling you the truth. So sometimes you wonder why we're not able to produce certain things, and why is it that we're not able to produce? We can produce, but we cannot produce. It's because of some of these agreements we've gone into.
I've questioned sometimes. You hear
that's a different matter.
Exactly. You hear MOU signed between these countries, and you want to question the details.
What's the detail? What are the details in the MOUs?
Most of the time, they are not disclosed.
So we've actually been what's it called? Entering into MOUs with countries, and we've gotten to a point where we need to know the details of MOUs that we enter into with countries. If countries are giving us grants, if they're giving us support, if they're giving whatever they call it, aids, however they want it, what is in it for them? A lot of the times there are, if you get to know the deals that are in those MOUs for these countries, you put your head, you carry your hands.
I carry out before even the time
exactly,
comes. But still, we are still on the case. Yeah. We'll get to Elvis soon to speak on these development in some of the constituencies where this white envelope, this is not brown envelopes. Some even have branded the envelopes. That's a very interesting development. I know Annie's speaking on me, but so Martin, what do you have to say?
With this issue of monetization, you see, if we don't tackle it early, a time will come. We might not get people who are efficient, people who are ready to serve Ghana to be in parliament.
No, that time has come. That time is here.
It will be dangerous for Ghana.
That time is here.
Because if you are not fortunate to have people who think about Ghana to occupy those seats, they'll begin to make laws.
Let me tell you something.
That will allow certain...
I will forget. Let me rudely interrupt you.
Okay.
You remember we have had issues about Eugene Ahi?
Yeah.
Some years ago. A year ago, about properties and monies he's acquired, and that was as a result of the problems he was having
with his wife.
And then a year on or so, we hear that he says he's going to Parliament. Is it because Eugene is rich, or it's because he has the capacity to be in Parliament and think of Ghana, right? So with all that he went through, have we investigated it? No. Have we made a foolishness out of the case? Maybe yes, maybe no. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I understand where you're coming from, and more especially where he's having the support of the president.
Exactly.
It is most likely that he'll be coming to Parliament.
So that's why I'm saying that what you're saying, that time is now. It's here.
And you see, the earlier we act, the better for this country. Other than that, the moment I become the president, it means all the people I love will be in Parliament to do my bit, and it is dangerous for our democracy, because if whatever the president, decide will be endorsed by Parliament, then it means Parliament is not there for Ghanaians. They are there to do what the president wants. And it's dangerous. Who knows when these cocaine dealers and whatever will be coming in to support particular candidates. It will be easier once we take money to vote for people. Those cocaine people can easily come in, sponsor people to be in Parliament, and begin to make laws to open gates for them.
This is why it's difficult to have constitutional structures to function independently.
Have you seen local assembly elections campaigns before? I have seen assemblymen now putting up, assemblymen candidates now putting up giant billboards.
You wonder where the funding is coming.
I've seen two in my constituency.
You know, how much does it cost to put up
a billboard? Are they receiving as a salary to be an assemblyman?
Yeah.
So it's a very question.
They're putting up
they are not paid. So where are they making those monies from?
I think the law on political funding, the interesting dynamics, you see some political parties come out and set up fund, an account number that you send support and all those things. All those things need to be looked at. You can't just stand up and say you are going to stand for an election. You have to research how much you receive from which candidate, who is supporting you, all because of transparency, because people need to trace your funding. If they can't trace your funding, they may attribute it to electoral laundering and other related support coming from so-called probably ISIS or any related organization who might get some kind of policy support, who might get some of financial support, who might get some kind of influence when you are in power. Because some people have placed certain laws waiting for it to be passed. They may support your candidate until you pass that law when you come into power. So the level of influence that money is playing should be troubling. All of us should be worried at where we are. If you see the visuals, someone is watching at home, a young kid is watching at home, is seeing this for the first time, is going like, okay, that is how I can buy my way to power.
You see, the danger of this then is that now it is the politicians who are offering. A time will come, the electorate will begin to demand.
No, they're demanding.
Oh, really?
They're demanding.
So the question will be that
Martin, let me.
Would they be in a position to pay how much?
So you know, let me tell you how, by the information I have, how I know the demand. So we have, if you go to Okankwe North Constituency, for example, we had how many? 6 candidates?
Yeah.
Okankwe North was 6.
Okankwe North.
Yeah, there were 6,
I think
or they were 5.
Yeah.
There were 6.
Yeah. 6.
Whatever, 5 or 6. And then you are a candidate, you go to delegates, and delegates say, well, we had Dokuya Kamo. She gave us 2,000.
What can you
She gave us 2,000.
Yes.
I haven't asked you to give me money.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
We are telling you how
this
much
is what you can do better.
So,
you know, that's exactly what's happening.
Okay.
They demand. Now they demand actually.
Okay.
They say, well, this one gave me a television. Kennedy Japan recently, during the campaign, before they went to the polls, he described how party chairman had been giving cars and this and that and that. And then he said, you being the delegate who's sitting here, your party chairman has been giving a car, a truck. Do you know how much that car costs? So if somebody comes to you and gives you 2,000, you know what the person is? The person is to sort you. He's telling you that you need to take more.
See, this is coming from someone who is at that leadership position of a party, telling the electors this is what is happening, and surprisingly, they still did not take it on. We've left it.
You know, Annie, there are some 4 results that have come through, which we'll be picking on the screens right now. So we are having this conversation. You are home. You also observing.
I just wanted to. Okay. We have some on the screen.
Your person,
These are Denton concerns. I thought we read this already. Okay, but we have Akosia polling 814. Kwesi Obeng Fosu polled 638. Winfred Nete polled 18. Total vote cast 1,470 from the Adentan constituency. Oh, okay. This is Cape Coast. Echo Wusi polled 348. I'm laughing in capitals. Okay, Barbara Aisha AEC also polled 24, and Barbara should have known this. I mean, she should have known this. Lawrence Kwekwampa also polled 230 votes. The total votes cast 601. Cape Coast North constituency results there. Clote Kole constituency, Ninote polled 838. Harold Cote polled 116. Rexford Ansa 94. Total votes for class 1,048 from Clote Kole constituency. This is Pandai constituency. Matthew polled 682.
So we're going to have back-to-back MPs.
Yes. So those who have gone and are trying to come back, good for you.
Because Martininda used to be even in.
Yes. Oh, can we have the results back? The Pandai constituency. And Nyama polled 60 votes. And is that Richard Nyama?
I should think so.
Okay, I think it's only Nyama I know in NPP. Rejected votes 2 and a total 700. And that is Matthew almost polling 99.something% of the vote. Anyway, yeah. So that's from the Pandai constituency there. Do we have any more? Okay, so Deputy Minister for Tourism is not happy now. Marco Kweku we're talking about. Okay. So Marco Kweku, tried going to the constituency bit, and he lost actually to Ida Ajoa Esidu.
You thought he lost?
Mark actually garnered 136, and Adjoa garnered 410. It was a little close.
That is Ayensuano.
Ayensuano constituency. So the other aspirants were Ernest Addo and Kingsley Boateng Adoma, polling 4 and 3 votes respectively. So that's also what we have with the Ayensuano constituency. Marco Kriku is not doing too good. I mean, he didn't do too good, but I think it was close. I think it was well. He did well.
But who is this lady? Well. Because
430, so 410, and no, he didn't do well. 136 and 4.
Yeah.
And 10.
At that particular constituency, I think the contest was between Michael Kreku Mante and the former MP.
Adjoa.
No, the former MP. Ayepe. Is it? Was not Ayepe?
Ayepe. Oh, okay.
Ayepe.
To check.
Ayepe was the former MP for Ayensuan, and it was between, the contest was between himself and Mark.
Okay.
So this lady then
Ayepe. So Ayepe must have dropped, no? Because it's Kingsley Boateng. Sorry, Ernest Addo and Kingsley Boateng Adoma.
Wow.
Okay. They were the rest, respectively. Yeah.
Right.
Ayepe didn't show. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, we'll take some final words because we're wrapping up today's edition of the coverage of the Orphan Constituency MPP election. I'm sure you've seen updates. Victory in some constituencies while some tears are flowing. And someone may be thinking, Honorable Are, but that's just by the way. All right, Martin, some few words.
Yeah.
Martin,
well, it was actually done.
Right. So I think
so just a quick one before Martin, you come in. Okay, Martin, you go. Then
right. Whatever the party is doing, they should consider the bigger picture, which is the 17th December 2024. They shouldn't be pushing people. They think grounds wouldn't be okay. Just that they have what it takes to go through. What we need is to get the people who be ready to serve Ghana, but not party interest.
Okay.
So just so you know that it was a 157 what's it called?
Election Central.
137
Orphan Constituency,
yeah.
But it's 138 because of the independent candidate.
Sure.
Yes, and then we had 20 of them unopposed. And then we had about 6. I think there are about 6 that have been helped by the party.
Yeah.
So as and when they clear the way, we will follow through and bring you that.
The Formina,
yes.
The independent.
Yeah.
All right, so the election happened in 111 constituencies for today. The part 2 of the election will come off on the 20th of December 2023. So make sure you stay tuned to Metro TV, where we bring you up-to-date information from the grounds to the studio with the analysis, top notch. Trust me, Metro Election Central brings you the buzz. My name is
we had Elvis Bota.
Yeah, exactly. Elvis, who was with us today. My name is Winston Taki.
And my name is Annie Efwa Ampofo.
We're joined by Martin, my colleague here, also in studio. We'll bring you more updates. Enjoy the rest of our programs. We'll bring you insight analysis at 7 p.m. on Newsnight. Have a wonderful day.
You need more. Yeah, I need more money. Show me more money.
But you should bring us.
And you got all this just today?
Yesterday. Just a few hours. Because I sacrificed my money.
Yeah. A bag full of cash. Wow.
Metro TV, insightful and inspiring moments.